was actually disconnected because someone at home probably logged in on this PC, or actually was out to sign in and then he got logged out here. So that's a bit awkward. So we're just going to wait for him to rejoin and then we'll get on the way with this first map.
Text your mom not to use your PC while you're at an event, and we're good to go.
Put a lock on it.
A lock, like a padlock on your
Yeah.
on button, on your on switch.
Well, we actually had some beautiful Plantronics headsets coming down to help the players have some soundproof, and actually they can hear the game and each other and not us, which is nice.
How it's supposed to be.
And those actually came in one very big flight case with weird number combinations on it. I was like, I'm so happy I have technical people taking care of this, so I don't have to. And well, of course we have some great PCs and other stuff with some Intel processors.
Ooh.
Smooth,
Yeah.
lovely, amazing. Yeah, and we just got confirmation it was indeed the home problem. Well, it happens. It's a LAN event.
never happened
You
to me.
sometimes have some issues, and it's early in the morning. Most people that want to watch probably aren't out of bed yet because it's Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still jet lagged.
well, normally I would still be in bed, but
Yeah,
I was lying in the hotel room next to you, and
You
I
were
was
up
like,
first.
yeah, because I claimed the bathroom first.
This
I
is
had
true.
to. It was pressure. I put it on myself, and now I'm sad I did it.
Why?
I want to sleep more.
How much more though? Like you woke me up 10 minutes after you woke up, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But still,
Yeah.
Like,
Romantic start of the weekend. though.
have you ever had that you had to go to school or work, and you're like, that 10 minutes, I really want it, even though it doesn't help.
Always.
The rest
Every
of the,
time.
Yeah, the rest of the, see, that's what I had right now. But
No.
I have a really good cure, and that's some CS:GO action. So we're
Some
just gonna
CS:GO
wait for that
action.
to start.
Oh
So,
dear.
yeah.
Well, as soon as we got all 10 of our players in the server, we can kick it off. But for now,
Oh, he's actually back.
we can. Oh, is he?
The
Oh,
time has come,
I
ladies
wanted-
and gentlemen.
I wanted to say let's give some shout outs, do some props, you know, see if there's anything.
Shout out to mom at home.
Definitely. Or to, you know, the mother of the player who kicked him off.
I didn't even send
Shout
them a
out.
link, so they can't even watch.
Who? Your mother.
Yeah.
How can you not send your mother a link? I must admit that I haven't either. but
She was very insulted by me writing Toldergod on my
Really?
fancy paper like this. Everyone that's here can make it because it's just outside our stage
if
area.
you want to cheer on your favorite team or host,
Or like be like Hunter and friends and say "Hoe losen wij dit?" which is a Belgian meme because sometimes teams are very triggered because how do we lose this? And then your team disbands Asterion. Which is sad. It happens. It's the Benelux, and
it's the Benelux.
players
Specifically
are.
Belgium. It's the BE.
Oh no.
Oh.
The Dutch teams are often very inconsistent because they are somewhat cocky.
Really?
To say the least.
I've never
and
noticed this.
sometimes they stay together for a long time, but that rarely happens. And it's usually the slightly lower tier teams that stay together the longest.
But
and they
define
get-
a long time. Like a long time in
Benelux
CS
is a
terms,
few months.
Yeah, but it's like 6 months. If you stay together for 8 months in one lineup, even it doesn't even have to be the
It's a
same lineup.
lifetime.
If it's like the same core, like same 3 or 4 players, this is considered like what is this? The
Words, things.
experience expert. I don't know. This is
Expert.
we did the
Then
Dutch
you
event
know
last
it.
week. I sort of need get back in the flow.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
get back in.
You're
that
not used
mood.
to English even though you
No.
live in Ireland?
Yeah, well, like I don't speak English there either.
No, because you have Ben Katzor, which is also a Belgian player who has played for some great teams, but well, he lives in Ireland now, so he doesn't have the time and effort to come here with
What do you mean? I'm coming here.
Yeah, but you're actually cool.
Yeah, okay, this is.
And we do see the players are ready to restart the knife round. Of course, players are so nice to each other, they actually get to replay it, and in a few seconds it will start, I guess, or not.
Yeah, it is. Like Ebot is telling us that there's going to be a restart. It looks like everything might get into it relatively soon, but until we get there, Tolders, let's find some interesting topic to go a bit further in on. Are they redoing the knife round? Oh, maybe because someone disconnected during the knife
They
round.
are gonna knife, and
Oh,
the
wow.
Ebot was just messing with our brain, and now we see Bodin standing around here, so we don't know if that's gonna affect anything, but we'll see. There's some stabbing going around over here, and yeah, just chaos right now, but it's all right. We're gonna have
It's
some
all
great
right.
games today. This, I think, one of the best games we can have, and it's already in the semi-final.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I think Semper Fidelis will win, and then we'll have a lovely best of 3.
And for the rest,
finals.
We can maybe go through like what the entire day is going to look like. It was in the stream before. We're going to see it pop up on the stream a couple more times probably throughout the event. But to give you an overview, we're starting with the first semifinal in a little bit as soon as everybody's ready. That's going to be between Vanguard and Avenue. The team's on stage right now. And as soon as that's finished, with some little time in between, how much time is there in between, do you know?
Probably very little. Just setup time, a little bit of warm-up, and then the teams will go head-to-head.
Exactly. So then we got Semper Fidelis versus Flamsky as the second semi, and then for the consolation final, obviously, losers of both. And are we still... I can't, but I think I'm still on, so I'm just going to keep going. So we got the consolation final, losers of both, to decide who gets the third and fourth spot. So the winner of that obviously takes third, which still gets them prize money. That's what the host pointed out before. That's 500 for the third place, and the fourth place actually gets nothing. Like there's no prize money for fourth place, so that's very important game still. And I can't exactly... Yeah. Okay. So, as I was still running you through how the weekend is going to look, it actually looks like the pistol round has gone live and the bomb has been planted. So, while Tolders gets his voice back slowly but surely, we see the T's having taken the site, and we see Sentinel take out Infernal and DRL take X-Lee, and that's a pretty good retake so far, but Bolin is still on that side, picks up Sentinel. Vanguard NGL manages to get DRL. Bolin with the second one for him gets taken out though, and Christoph with the second in a row. No, Christoph took out Bolin as well, yeah. Christoph with 2 manages to close out the round by himself, and that's pistol round for Avenue. That's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, it was slightly chaotic. Of course, my sound got out, so sorry for that. Usually I'm the play-by-play, so also my boy Gio was a little bit confused. But the first round goes to Avenue Esports. That means they will buy some SMGs, some rifles, and they'll go onto the pistols of Vanguard because they had a bomb plant. They will now do a full eco with some P250s, and Nigel, because he had some kills, has the deagle, will try to do some irreparable damage to the enemies, who are actually bossing up mid, which is quite confusing. And they're already fighting with DRL. DRL gets one, loses his life though, and Christoph is now fighting with Smogger after he took down Nigel. 4v3, and actually Smogger getting a second kill of the round there. They're actually falling back a little bit, the players of Vanguard. Just trying to see if they can exploit any of the holes they made. Actually get one of the guns maybe, while Smogger is now looking the other way, getting pressured from Noid. He's now in the ladder room, shoots a little bit. 6 HP left for Smogger, but he already took down 2 players, so he can probably carry his weight. And actually a dink onto Sentinel as well, which means it's quite close. And we have, of course, no armor on the Vanguard esports player, so if they get hit, the armor punch is quite deadly.
It is quite indeed, but it looks like that bomb is still all the way over towards the back alley, and everybody's sort of spread out on the Vanguard side. They don't really look like they have a very concrete plan going into this. We see that No takes out Smogger and Bolin alike, so that's only Infernal left alive with that bomb. There's only 1 CT on that B site though, so it shouldn't be all too, well, difficult, all too impossible to get that bomb down, but he's gonna have to find his frag, and he doesn't manage to find that on no ID, on Noid. Noid. So Infernal goes down, and that's 2-0 for Avenue. Looks like they're not gonna bother with another eco. They got that bomb plant in the first round, obviously, so that gave them a little bit of a financial boost and allows them to just get full AKs across the board. They're a little bit limited in the utility they have at the moment, but if they go for a slightly faster round than you would normally see on the T side of Inferno, then that might not have to be a problem. And they definitely do still have some smokes. They've got a good amount of flashes, so nothing's impossible here. And look at the rifle, or the weaponry rather, still on Avenue. We've got a FAMAS and 2 SMGs, an MP9 and a UMP, so far from ideal against armored opponents, especially when they have AKs. So DRL just spotted some people in mid there, isn't going to repeat that immediately, fearing for his life, and actually opting to go all the way out of there running back onto the A side, on which we have 3 CT players now, 2 of which getting a little bit aggressive over towards that ramp area, maybe wanting to get that information, maybe just wanting to lock that down. But in the middle, in the meantime, we see the bomb progressing a bit further. Noid, no ID. At B has found some contact as well. Molly's him out of there. Christoph finds a frag on short, and Sentinel does so as well. Still a little bit of a duel going on between Noid and I believe that was Infernal, excuse me, and Christoph. Yeah, I'm still getting used to all these Belgian names, man.
Yeah, and actually Christoph pushing there, seeing 2 players and eventually getting killed by XD, who drops down, gets a kill on him, but you still have DRL with that SMG for short range. In the connector, gets 1 kill, $600 for him, and almost gets a second dink onto XD. 2 HP left for him. It's still a 2v3 situation. And with a headshot with an AK, you can change everything, but you have to hit him, and Bonin does so, but not before his teammate dies. 1v2 situation, 33 health, and he actually gets spotted. Has to push a little bit, 20 seconds on the clock, so time is ticking down. Gets 1, and then you have Noid coming from the jungle area. Has no utility, does have armor and an M4, and actually picks up the kit as well. So the time is less of an issue, but Bonin there with a beautiful clutch. 2v1, and the first buy round of Vanguard actually pays out very nicely.
There we go, and that's the highlight player we were discussing before, who actually manages to stand out already in the first round. That, you know, they have guns anyway, and that's a pretty good early round win to get back in this game without getting too much of a disadvantage early on. Now we see that there's still a couple of guns on the Avenue Esports side. They've got 2 M4s and a FAMAS, but also 2 CZ75s to go along with that, so that's far from ideal. And we actually see that Christoph doesn't even have armor. He's got a kit, he's got an M4, but that aim punch from either the AKs or there's a Galil as well, but or the UMP even is going to be enough to take him out. Sentinel, on the other hand, is the one going down early on because he gets a little bit too aggressive, and that is an early man advantage for Vanguard. That's something that they can really exploit throughout the rest of this round now.
Yeah, and Bonin actually falling back, going to group up with his team because, of course, they have the man advantage. They have Nigel on low HP though. And if you have that advantage, you have to play it out. See if there's a weak hole anywhere. And of course, they had the kill onto the A side, where Sentinel was pushing onto the A ramp. And now we see them all grouping up. Only Bonin left away from his team. He's in the connector area, lurking away, trying to get an entry, or actually just chilling around, hoping that one of the Avenue players will push, which is quite often because when you're down 1 player on the CT side, you usually try to push somewhere to equalize the numbers again. Yeah, but then you actually have to get good enough. But usually you lose because of it. It's a risk.
We've got a very low player in Palace there, and it looks like his teammates are going to be taking this A side. We've got DRL in CT, losing his head to a UMP. That is not something that you want to be doing, especially when you're already a man down. Bolin with an advantageous position here in the sniper's nest, but Noid has a pretty good idea that someone's there. Not going to fall for that quite yet, but it looks like they don't really have that much of a foothold in this round. They're going to opt to save the rifles that they have. We see one CZ that is still going to be pushing forward. Bolin actually manages to find no with his, or that's attacker.
Yeah.
That's attacker, okay, fair enough. He manages to find attacker and take away one of the guns, but we might see Noid reclaim that. Instead, he's going to be opting to keep that FAMAS. I'm not sure if he even noticed the M4, but he might still want to switch. Yeah, he did switch that. So that's the 2 rifles that they went into the round with that they're at least able to save. But unfortunately, they're probably still not really going to have money to buy into the next round. So I think forcing in this round didn't really work out for them, and the only player that survives with a gun in the end there is the one that didn't have armor. So financially, that previous round was a disaster. He can't even buy armor with that now because he'll like really impact his economy opposed to the other players on his team. So they're going to have an M4 and a kit on one player without anything to back it up.
Yeah, so Christoph, the player to, well, probably save again because he can't really do much. The aim punch will be too great. And the problem for him is that they're actually rushing towards the B side and actually coming from short as well, which means they have no people playing that, covering it, and that means everyone dies. A lot of damage being done onto the players of Avenue, onto the players of Vanguard, but unfortunately, if you don't do 100 damage, it's not a kill.
No. If I were Avenue, I would like to forget about this round specifically, and preferably the last one as well, as quickly as possible, because there were a couple of things that happened that can really drag you down throughout, you know, well, semifinals like this. You're on stage, you're playing at a pretty big event. We've got some crowd dripping in, slowly but surely. How are we all feeling? No, not that much sound yet. Okay, we got these fancy Game Force I don't know what they're
Oh
called.
no, please don't.
Yeah.
My ears can't take it.
No, but I would like
It's
for some
already
people to
happening,
be
but we do see
smacking this
a
around.
mid push actually coming out. One of Kinzo's favorite tactics, pushing down. Nigel actually behind the boxes, gets one kill, gets a second even. And that means this whole round is already pretty much over because Vanguard, smart enough experience to just choke out the win of this round. Getting 2 easy